So once again, I'm saying to you guys, don't start. As a drug addict, if you are, you will either become a victim, you will become the perpetrator, a murderalizer, or both. There's no happy ending for addicts. Once an addict, always an addict. Some of the events and places that you're not invited to, don't feel bad about it. They're not inviting you because you don't do coke or others that are D's. So be okay not to be invited sometimes. FEZILE NGUBANI, who was a suspect in the Olorato case, has been cleared, acquitted, if you will, right, from the whole situation. This takes me back now to every time I have said to you, don't start when it comes to ZDAKADI. ZDAKADI is so bad, and that is exactly what got him intertwined into this mess, got him on the suspect list. FEZILE NGUBANI gave the killer his ID, his bank cards, with a promise from the killer of a better life, financial gain, partnership into that car wash, and all these things. And he took it. And he wasn't the only one that did, right? Because you have to recreate your SIM card, and the different bank accounts that guy was using were different people's. He took advantage of them. That's why I don't think it was just a random killing. I feel like he's done this before. We just don't know about the other cases, first of all. Second of all, he planned this thing so meticulously. And I'm sure along the way, God has warned him to stop what he's doing. But you come to the point where you will get busted. Even if you stop, the truth always comes out. Whatever happens in the dark, nighttime lifestyle will always come back into the light and be revealed.
About you, FEZILE, you are almost 40, you've had challenges and difficulties in your life, and you also acknowledge some of the mishaps you've made, but where one, this case is concerned, but secondly, what really would you want South Africans to know about FEZILE NGUBANI?
No, I would like South Africa to know that I've never been involved in crime. I've never been a person who's been a fan of crime. I don't entertain crime. It's just that the addiction, the life that I've put myself in, is the one that's really, hurt me a lot, because for these 3 days, as I was in the holding cells, and I was shaking for my life, I saw that maybe this is my last opportunity in life to turn back to doing good, because most of my life I hurt my parents and I hurt mostly myself. So I would just like to say to South Africa that anybody who thought I was involved in this should know for a fact that I've never done anything wrong. I've never left home. I've always been with my parents, and I've never laid a hand on a woman. I've only got one child in my life. She just finished her matric. So I'm not a violent person. My neighbors know me and everybody, because as the people around my area were saying that there's not an inch that this guy is involved in this. But what can we say? If the police wants you, the police wants you. You involved, they say you involved.
And perhaps just quickly, FEZILE, from my end, are you seeking some assistance in terms of your addiction? Are you wanting help to be assisted in that regard?
I'll kindly be glad if help was offered.
I think let's just bring in the...
And are you considering perhaps any recourse in terms of the conduct of the police? Initially they identified you as a suspect. Are you going to be taking any action? Have you consulted your family perhaps on that?
No, I'd say I've discussed that with my parents, and we said we wouldn't take such drastic measures due to situations. Those guys didn't handle me in a way that made me feel, threatened and, violated. They were quite professional with the whole situation, and I wouldn't dare think so, because some people might get a negative view on that, and it might bring negativity to me too. I don't like.
Vault unlocked. And that's how God operates. Fairly and justly. Right? This FEZILE guy, he fell for it. And in his mind, in his sick mind, sick because he's an addict, he thought, yeah, I can get more drugs. I can, this situation seems okay. The killer preyed on him just like he did on his victim, and I think many other victims. Many other victims. That's why you must not start ZDAKADI, guys. Leave it alone. Nothing good comes from that thing. And not everybody that has experimented gets out. Some of us can experiment with this, and that, but our minds are strong enough to get out of it. They are, because here we stand. You see? If you know, you know. Right? And many of you know because you're the one that got away. You get it? It's how a person thinks. Drug addiction affects the mind. That's why people can't get out. They want to feel good all the time. No. They have very low dopamine in their body. And they have to get it how they can. But it's not a natural way. That's why with addicts, things like going to Gold Reef City or going ice skating or doing fun activities, the activities that you and I thoroughly enjoy, playing a tennis game, being competitive, they don't find joy in those things at all. They can't wait to leave, or you guys are still having fun. And some of the events and places that you're not invited to, don't feel bad about it. They're not inviting you because you don't do coke or others that are these. So be okay not to be invited sometimes. They want to be around their people so they can disappear. And if they're around their people, they don't even have to disappear. It's just like, oh, come on everybody, let's just do the thing. No one's gonna tell or judge. So it's okay not to be invited. Oh, shut up. You're okay. Right? So once again, I'm saying to you guys, don't start. As a drug addict, if you are, you will either become a victim, you will become the perpetrator, a murderalizer, or both. There's no happy ending for addicts. Once an addict, always an addict. Unlike if you've experimented and you were having a good time and you were like, oh, now I'm stopping, I'm over this now. Ginger. That craving of that thing will never come back. But as an addict, the cravings will come back. And they say addicts always relapse. You can't trust those people. You can't. Because whatever mood that they're in on any given day, even in active recovery, can trigger them to go back and do ZDAKADI. Being too happy, maybe they want to celebrate now. Like, one more time, then you're back in the dark place. When they're depressed or sad or whatever, just one more time, just so I can feel better. And then you're back in. Once an addict, always an addict. If you are an addict, you are prone to becoming the villain, the murderalizer, the bad guy, or a victim too. FEZILE was a victim as well. Because he gave his personal information and all his stuff to this guy that did bad crimes to the point where that guy killed. And then he was a suspect. That FEZILE, if his situation wasn't ironed out quickly by the cops, he could have perished because people were looking for him too. Well-spoken young man. Seems like he has a family that loves him. He was on an interview saying that his family has tried everything, but he's fallen into addiction. He even has a child that is 17 years old. But he can't get out of the grips of addiction. Even if you go to rehab, one day is one day. One of your emotions will trigger you to go and do the thing again. And you might just OD that day. So, what do? Don't start. If you can't have fun naturally like the rest of us, don't start. Zincede. And it's not just weed that's a gateway. Alcohol too. It is. Some people can drink and then at some point they're not even getting drunk anymore. It's like, this is boring. And then Satan will bring someone along and say, try this thing. This ice skate. Now you're hooked. These drugs, especially if you are a person with underlying issues that you don't even know of, you take it because of your low dopamine. You want to stay at that. You want that feeling over and over again to feel better. But you're killing yourself. You see what I'm saying? Drug addiction and addictions in general, they attack your mind. It's a mental health illness. We judge them like, hey, Lord, oh, hi, you are born and but if you can put yourself in their physical shoes, oh, let's say you're one of the experimenters, then you understand ukuthi akazenzi lo muntu kisono. But the scary thing is you don't know when they're going to escalate. FEZILE wasn't the one involved in the crime, so he didn't escalate. He was just a junkie. But what if he did escalate? What if he was promised all these things to help to do the crimes? Then he would have been the villain. But in this case, he was a victim as well, because his information was used, which painted him in a bad light. And he could have died if Mpagati got to him before the cops cleared his name. It was going to be a problem. But also, God works in mysterious ways. He got intertwined in this thing and so quickly was exonerated. This is God's hand, right? God's favor. Now people, after he's been exonerated and cleared of the situation, are donating to him. They want him to get better. They heard how he speaks. They heard how he speaks of his family and his child. And they are sympathetic, even though he was intertwined in this murderalizing thing, which he did not do or participate in. He was even saying in the interview that I'm not a violent man, never have been, never will be. I've never struck a woman. I'm just a junkie. That's what he said. You understand? But look now, that situation, and that's why he survived. That's why Mpagati didn't get to him before he was cleared. God's favor, God's hand. Don't tell me he doesn't exist. You're playing games. God will give you a chance on a public scale. He will not hide his miracles. It's a miracle that that guy has not perished. And then his name was cleared. And now people are donating to him. Do you see how God works? We are all connected. Do you see? On one hand, there's a bad situation that happened. So bad. Femicide. And then on the flip scale, God is everywhere all the time. And then sometimes we are just ding-dong idiots. All of us. Where we can't even be patient with him. But he's working all the time. Exposing the evil. And then also helping his child that he wants to save. Never tell me he doesn't exist.
They can begin rebuilding his life and helping him with donations.
To everybody, I would like to thank South Africa and my family for being supportive to the whole situation. And nalabantu abebeing supportive ngabazi ngabona engabazi ngisho nokubazi South Africa besho ukuthi ecaleni angikho. And I would kindly like to send my gratitude to umndeni ka-Olerato ukuthi nawo umntala awubahlenge kulesimo ababhekene naso. And nabantu abathi bafuna ukungisiza nabo la kuma-social media abathi ngibane ama-details ngoba kwamanje into zami isafriziwe. Abantu ababengafisa ukungisiza bebengasendela kusisi wami umdala i-account number yakhe yakwa-Nedbank okwamanje. Ngalolu nga-appreciate lonke usizo lungaqhamuka kubona ngayo yonke indlela. So ngiyasho ngisafisa uphinde ngiphinde ukuthi sometimes life inokuphumula kanzima ngoba impilo yami besesengozini. So ngiyabonga nakumdali ukuthi ungihlengile nje wangigcina ngiphephile kuso sonke lesimo. Ngiyabonga South Africa, ngiyabonga nomndeni wami, ngiyabonga nama-supporter ama-neighbors anginike wona. Ngibonge ngixolise futhi nokuthi i-recklessness nokungabi responsible ekugcineni ngakufaka ekodini. Ngiyabonga.
Well, you can tell me. I won't believe you. Because I know through my own life. Do you understand? He's not a respecter of man. God does what is fair and what is just, what is right. And he's always helping us anyway, always. Even when we think, oh, come on, Father, please, just fix it. He's already made the pieces available for the fixmentation of that situation. Look at FEZILE. Without him being called up as one of the suspects and then cleared, nobody would have donated to him. He would just be Ipada. Look at God. But also, don't start. ZDAKADI, no go. Yeke. Ungazami, don't experiment. Back in the day, when we were experimenting with nonsense, it was back in the day. It was a different time. Today, you will stumble across something that's bad. Fentanyl, all these other ones. You'll die. You will die. My time, your time is different. That's why I'm shocked that Jelly Baby actually becoming a Sangoma. It's like, sensitive vibe, what are you doing? Come on. Stop that thing. What are you doing? Times have changed. Times have changed. You have to act accordingly and be according. You have to fit into the time to survive. You adapt. You adapt and evolve with the times. If you don't, you're gonna die. You will if you don't adapt and evolve. Listen. Many people might want to say, Lynn, you're always trying to change this, change that. You're always changing something. Something's always changing. Yeah, of course. Now I have to move on. I feel the energy within my soul. And if it doesn't, I'm moving on. What's wrong with that? Because not making a decision is making a decision. You stay complacent, you're actually gonna physically die. That's it. Alright? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Be safe out there. And don't start. Whether you're young, old, or whatever you are, don't start. It's not worth it. You don't even have to drink alcohol. It's not worth it either. It's not. It's not. It's actually not. Why did I ever start drinking? And I know you do too. Because how many times have you quit drinking, but you always go back for some reason? That's the same with the druggies. They go back for some reason. It's either you're too happy, it's like, one more time. Or you're too low and depressed. One more time. Yafana. Right? Ponder on that.